Yo, welcome back. Welcome to Solely Dope. More Than a Podcast is where we discuss all things dope. This week we got my man Pope joining us all the way from NOLA, from Louisiana. How you doing, bro?
Doing well, man. How are y'all?
I'm good. Now I know you just fresh into the house, but were you sipping on something tonight?
Yeah, man. I got my little Mayor McCheese or whatever cup, and I got a little Winter Jack, special delivery from my pops in Tennessee. You know, it's not really cold in here anymore, but still make it feel like winter in my mouth.
Classy. Well, we'll do the rest of what you're sipping on, and I'll come back and I'll let everybody know how I know my man Pope. So what you sipping on, Heath?
I got a little peach Crown Royal and Coke.
Okay.
Not bad.
That's good. I haven't tried it with Coke.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, I wasn't really prepared this week, so I got water, but I put it in a wine glass. Look a little fancy. Or I could just say there's some Everclear.
You could. Not just vodka. It couldn't just be vodka.
I'm gonna be honest. It's just water.
I'm doing a little margarita this week, man. Little margarita.
Little Marcus margarita. Made it yourself?
I mean, we still tequila with a little like mix, so it's not. I didn't put too much effort into it. It's good though. It does the job. Well, yeah, man. Glad everybody can. What'd you say, Corey?
Because that's all that matters.
Yep.
For real. Well, yeah, man. So we got my guy Pope on. So I know Heath, you met Pope when we all went to New Orleans that trip, right?
Yep.
Well, Corey, This is your first time meeting him. So Pope, this is my guy, man. This is my New Orleans guy. So randomly, the reason I know a lot of people like Pope from NOLA is actually from Ellen playing in the kickball league. So Pope was in that same league. That's where I met him, Mike Boogie, and so many others. But me and Pope just really clicked, man. He's the one who actually invited me to a Saints game. He's the reason I ended up with those season tickets. So knowing Pope just really enhanced my whole experience from New Orleans. So I would probably still like the city, but I don't know if I would appreciate it and love it as much if I'd have never linked up with my guy Pope. So glad to have you on and talk some New Orleans stuff today.
For sure, man. I mean, I remember all the conversations you would always ask, like, how do I know if I'm official? And I would throw these like crazy things at you, and then you would do them, and it's like, oh man, he really does love this city, like, And I mean, just like in typical New Orleans fashion, man. Like you and Ellen came, y'all made y'all's mark. Your presence is still felt even when you're gone, and the city ain't the same without you, for sure.
Hope you lifelong New Orleans or?
Yeah, born and raised. I know. Sometimes I sound like I'm from Canada, but I'm born and raised.
I was trying to pick up on it. Yeah, I was trying to. You say your dad was from Tennessee? Is that what you just said? Lives in Tennessee?
No. He lives in Tennessee, but he's from here. My mom's still here. My family's here. Like, me and my wife have toyed around with the idea of moving to another city, but it's just not the same.
I'd be pissed too. I'd be pissed if I came to visit and you want me to drive 45 minutes to go hang out in Destrehan or something? Like, don't do that to me, man. Stay close.
Well, I mean, I guess you don't want to hear where my house is then.
Oh, how far out are you? Where you at?
I'm in Luling, so it's not quite 45 minutes, but it's still there. I mean, I'm still in the metro area,
Yeah.
It's just when you have a daughter, things change, and the public schools are insane out here. They're awesome, and the value for what we got for the house, can't be beat. But I'm still here,
That's an interesting thing, and I know Heath, you live out in an area in St. Louis where you can get a little more bang for your buck, probably. Me and Ellen we always talk about that. Like, when are we gonna reach that spot where we are willing to sacrifice that commute for the bang for your buck? We got lucky here in Long Beach getting space, but we usually always have to live in a tiny little house just to be closer to the action. So, yeah. Well, we could talk New Orleans more later. We are. Let's hop. He set it up, man. Let's hop into this football.
All right, here we go. So we usually pop it off. I guess we could just kick it off with last week's matchups. We'll start with the first one. We had Packers versus Rams. Aaron Rodgers did his thing. You guys have got anything you want to say about Packers versus Rams?
No, I mean, just They look unstoppable. They really do. I mean, their defense has improved drastically over the year. Aaron Rodgers, Devontae Adams is Devontae Adams. I mean, it's sick.
I thought the Rams might do a little better defensively, but no. Aaron Rodgers, like you said, he's unstoppable. Devontae Adams, they're gonna be tough to beat.
Donald was hurt
Really
too.
tough.
That hurt the Rams.
Yeah,
Donald missed a lot of snaps.
For sure.
Is Aaron? Well, I mean, we can talk about the matchup a little more, but is Aaron Rodgers and Devontae are they the best the quarterback or wide receiver combo in the league, 1 and 2?
Well, I mean, now that somebody retired, yeah.
Oh,
maybe I'm a little biased, but
yeah, I mean, we know Michael Thomas played with. I mean, I think they would have been up there, but he missed most of the season. He didn't get his first touchdown until a week or two ago. But so with that being said, yeah, they look unstoppable, man.
I think this year alone, you can throw Josh Allen and Diggs in that conversation too.
Yeah,
that's true.
They balled out this year.
I mean, we got Mahomes, Tyreek Hill.
Yeah.
This year, though, I think Devontae and Aaron Rodgers probably the best combo.
Sure.
Yeah, like you said, Diggs and Allen, that's a good one as well.
Yeah, they look like they have fun. Diggs and Allen look like they just like playing with each other.
Rodgers don't look like he's having a bad time either, though.
So the Rams obviously took that L. Is Jared Goff the quarterback of the future for the Rams?
Not if they want to win.
He's got a lot of money on that contract.
I don't think he can get them to a Super Bowl, man.
Yeah.
Just don't see.
Yeah, I mean, he did bring them to a Super Bowl.
Yeah, a Super Bowl win, I should say.
Yeah.
I mean, that's true. He took them there, and I thought he looked.
Well, they scored 3 points when they got there.
3.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. I thought I was impressed more so last week when he came, only a couple days off the thumb injury or whatever it was. And to win that game against the Seahawks, I was impressed. And then, not so much this weekend. So I don't know. That's a tough decision because he's got a lot of money and it's hard to find a good quarterback. So you don't want to let him go too early.
The NFL's so weird right now. I feel like there's him and Wentz are just paid so much. And it's like, are they the guys of the future? And then we got Deshaun, which we'll talk about later. The NFL is just weird right now, man.
Yeah, it is.
You got Dak Prescott over there in Dallas.
Yeah. Well, at least with Goff, he actually took that team to the Super Bowl. Whether there was controversy, and we all know that he shouldn't have got there in the first place. Don't worry about that.
True.
Like with Wentz, he wasn't the quarterback that took them. That was Foles, you know what I mean? So he's got more pressure, I think. I mean, obviously, he's already got benched at the end of this year. So I think he's in a tighter spot than Goff is, to me.
Yeah, and I don't know all that's going on in Philly, but it seems like Wentz just got his coach fired because he wanted Wentz and not hurt. So, Wentz has a lot of pressure in Philly now. If he
probably already got his bags back. I don't know.
He might need to.
Yeah.
All right, so
that was.
Go ahead. You're good. Go ahead.
Yeah, that was the biggest surprise to me, man. Because I thought Peterson was a good coach, but it seems like there's a lot in that organization that's just not right.
Yeah.
All right, game 2 of that first day. Ravens, Bills. Was it quite the matchup that you wanted it to be, Marcus? Was it the game you wanted it to be?
Nah, because I said I thought the Bills would win, but it sucked. I don't know. I didn't like to see Jackson go out like that, and he had a concussion, which kind of makes you think he might have came back. But the way it was looking, I don't think they were going to win regardless. So I was hoping for more points, more of a shootout, and then just a better performance for Jackson. He finally got that win and shook that off, and then to fall flat the next game. I hated to see that.
Yeah, I think Jackson faces a ton of pressure and a ton of criticism that other quarterbacks don't face. I think he's got what it takes, though. I mean, he'll eventually get it together. They'll keep putting pieces around him. That's kind of the exact opposite of Philly. Baltimore is a great organization. They always seem like they know what they're doing. I think it's only a matter of time for him. And Josh Allen, I mean, it's crazy that somebody could have the year that he's had, but be underappreciated at the same time. I think he's kind of been left out of the MVP talk, but he should be right there. And I mean, to me, he should be number 1.
Over Aaron?
Over Aaron, just because of what we talked about. Like Devontae is a top wide receiver no matter what team you put him on. We saw Diggs in Minnesota, and he was good, but now he's great. You know what I mean? Josh Allen made Cole Beasley an All-Pro. I mean, that kind of says a lot, you know?
There's definitely an argument there for
Josh Allen. I was going to say, to give Corey credit, Corey's had Josh Allen in his MVP the past few calls.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Josh Allen.
I thought
the game would be a little closer than that, but I'm not really surprised. I'm not really shocked they beat them 17-3, I guess. The Bills are going to be tough to beat too. Yeah. We're going to get into that later when we do our picks, I guess, but it's going to be a tough matchup.
I agree.
Yeah, so Ravens just need a few more pieces, and that's it. I mean, I think, like he said, their organization, they're one of the top, so hopefully.
Yeah, because no offense to Dez, but, you know, you get outside of Hollywood Brown, like as far as receivers, like, you need more than that, you know what I mean? So,
best receiver,
like Pope said.
Best receiver is a tight end.
Was it Mark
Yes.
Andrews? His name?
Yeah.
Yeah, they need some weapons out there for him.
I mean, they've tried. Like, they drafted Duvernay the last draft and Boykins the one before, and it's just they're okay. They're not what he needs. Or maybe they just haven't built up that trust with Lamar like Mark Andrews, like you were saying, has.
Yeah.
I saw didn't they just release Ingram?
Yeah. Today.
Which, I mean, they got Dobbins and Edwards, and so they'll be fine. Don't need Ingram.
Yeah. What happened with Justice Hill? He was the one last year that they were all hyped up on, and he's just
I forget they got him too.
Nothing, you know.
Every time I see number 27 on the Ravens, I feel weird. Because wasn't that Ray Rice's number? Who's wearing 27 now? Which one of them is it?
Yeah.
Is it?
I don't know.
What number is Dobbins?
I don't guess it matters. I just see it on the field. I can't tell Ray Rice.
I can't remember.
I would say this isn't that kind of podcast. We don't have that kind of. I don't do that kind of research.
You're asking too much from us.
All right, game 1 on Sunday. Man, for a glimmering moment, I thought I was going to be on this call, celebrating a little bit. The Browns just come up short, although Patrick Mahomes gets knocked out in the third quarter. You guys want to talk about that game real quick?
Yeah, the Browns needed to win that, man. They needed to win that.
I agree.
I think it would have been really amazing to have a Buffalo Cleveland AFC Championship game just for the two fan bases. But same thing with the Browns. Like, they seem like they've got their organization together finally. They're starting to get the right pieces. AFC is going to be tough. I mean, there's so many young quarterbacks in the AFC. It's going to be really interesting in the next couple of years. But that call by Andy Reid on 4th and 1 to seal the game was
big nuts,
ballsy.
Big nuts.
And that's what kicked him. That's what kicked him in the ass all those years in Philly, because he would do stuff like that, and now he has all those weapons, and that shit is paying off so much. He was always the one in Philly, the 4 straight NFC Championship games, who would mess up the clock at the end of the game because he would do stuff like that, and now it's coming in collect.
That play was perfect, though.
Man.
Yeah.
He was wide open. That was easy first down.
Yeah. Wait, what about that call by Tony Romo, dude? Like, he sounded like he was having, like, a blast. Like, he was completely shocked, and it was the best thing he had ever seen in his life, man.
And that third down run by Henne, too. Like, he loved that. That was the backbreaker. When Henne got that was it 3rd and 14? And you let Chad.
Something like that.
Yeah, that's tough.
It's crazy to think, but that's like a shot of life for that team, because to me, they didn't look great a whole lot of games. They were beating teams, but it wasn't always pretty. And to have that kind of win, to have, Mahomes back like that, like, that's the last thing you need, is give them guys some more swagger moving forward. So
again, that's another 1-score victory, and you're about to go beat the Bills. What is that? 8 of the last 9 games are 1-score victories for the Chiefs.
They did that without their starting quarterback. They gave him a whole quarter to come back.
I know.
Please. So I don't know.
It was set up too. I was getting ready for Baker to get that ball that last drive, and you guys just start roasting. I was like, well, at least Baker can't lose it now, you know?
Yeah. Wasn't on him.
Yeah. I mean, you can't score 17 points and beat any team. So it kind of is on him. Like that drive before the Browns drive before that Chiefs drive, they had to score there. They had to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So have they said anything about Mahomes' status? Is he still just going through the protocols right now?
What I heard was he had like something in his neck, that it wasn't actually a concussion.
That's what I was gonna say. They're already like covering their tracks and saying it was more like he got like choked out instead of a concussion.
Oh man, they about to have my guy out there dizzy.
He was wobbly, like he was knocked out.
Yeah.
I'd be really mad if the Chiefs win that game and now they can't play the Bills with Mahomes. Like that's robbing a championship game. Before we get to the next game, so the Browns only have Baker on contract for one more season. This is usually the year after that third year of the rookie contract, you get that extension. Do the Browns then move forward with Baker? Did he do enough?
I mean, who else are you going to throw in there? I think you have to. I think he played good enough.
Get an extension?
Yeah.
This is when Mahomes and Watson and all those guys, after the third year of that rookie deal, they got their extension. He's not going to get a Mahomes extension or anything like that.
He doesn't really have many weapons. The run game is obviously one of the best in the league, but don't have any receivers.
Remember that one time he had that one wide receiver and he couldn't throw him the ball? That one, Odell? Pretty good weapon.
Well, I agree with what somebody said about him trying to force it to him too much because of who he is.
Yeah.
So I can see that
better without that pressure of trying to get him the ball.
Yeah.
I think they'll offer him something. I don't know if it'll be what he wants. I think he played well enough to get an extension. If he'll get as much money as he wants or thinks he deserves, that I don't know.
So the Browns can do him dirty because the way the rookie contracts are set up is you get that 5th-year team option. So they can just sign or they can just re-sign him for that 1 year and still not extend him. So he could be there for 2, but
that's what I would do.
Yeah.
I think there's a real bond formed between Baker and Stefanski. Like they had the reports come out today that they just spent all day together, and Baker was happy to finally have another year in the same system, and not keep changing it over and over again. So I think they'll work something out. I agree with y'all. I don't think it's going to be as high, nor should it be as high as some of the other quarterbacks. But hopefully they lock it up and there's no drama.
All right, we got a Drew Brees jersey. We got a Saints shirt. The last game of the weekend, it was Brady versus Brees. It was the game I wanted. I know it wasn't the outcome, you guys, but I did not want a 38-3 victory either way. It turned out to be a game that kept my interest the whole time. I'm just gonna give it to Marcus and Pope. You guys just go.
And I'm gonna let the New Orleans, the guy actually from there, the one who's had season tickets since way back near Katrina. I'm gonna let you start it off.
I'm glad that there was no controversy that the Saints lost straight up, and there's nothing that the fans can say. Oh well, if this happened, whatever. It's like it's done, it's over with. I think the game proves that Drew probably shouldn't have came back from the injury. I think that was a big mistake. I think not benching Jared Cook weeks ago was a mistake. For the Bucs, they played incredible. And why did it have to be 2 New Orleans guys in Leonard Fournette and Devin White that just destroyed us? So fitting. But it is what it is. The end of an era, probably. I would think so. None more you could say. Defense played for the Saints. They played as hard as they could play, but in the end, they just ran out.
Yeah, man. I would definitely say when I bought this jersey, I really wanted to buy the Kamara jersey, but it's really scary when it comes to buying jerseys the way the sports works these days. So the reason I bought this jersey applies now. Like what he did for the Saints goes way beyond football. You know what I mean? The mark he left, bringing them that Super Bowl after Katrina, I think Honey Badger said it recently, like he gave them hope in a city where a lot of times they didn't feel they had hope. So I hate that he had to go out that way, throwing those kind of picks, although they weren't all his fault. I hate if that's his last game, to how it went, but that's a legend, man. And I think we can roll right into Michael Thomas. That's a great note to end on, even that quote even just popping up. So Pope, I text Heath yesterday, was it?
Mm-hmm.
Where I was like, damn, did you notice Michael Thomas have no catches?
0.
Like,
I didn't even notice.
But then I saw in a couple plays, so I'm like, man, he don't look as spry, he don't look as quick. So for him to come out and say, actually, I'm hurt. I just want to do this for my guy.
You got a torn deltoid and ankle ligaments. So torn deltoid and torn ankle ligaments.
What'd you think when you saw that, Pope?
Honestly, before seeing that, the thought crossed my mind, like, maybe we should trade Michael Thomas to the Texans and get Deshaun Watson. Maybe that's a possibility. And then when I hear that, all the surgeries got to have and that, it's like, man, we can't give up on this dude. This dude, I mean, he is as much as opposing fans don't like him because he likes to talk trash on social media and all that. He has been an awesome teammate from day one. And just like with other players, he has embraced the city culture. I mean, he was the one with the No Limit Records, shoes, cleats on one day. He's always dancing at the games on the sideline. I mean, you got to do right. And I mean, and it kind of puts things into perspective with the fight with him and Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. Because if you're out here injured with all these injuries, busting your ass, and some dude's calling you slant boy nonstop, you're gonna get mad and punch the dude in the face, no matter if he's your teammate or whoever, So it just kind of put a lot of things into perspective hearing what came out today.
Yeah, there were several weeks where I kept, because I listened to Jalen and Jacoby every day, and Jalen kept saying, "Watch out for how Michael Thomas and Drew Brees." That chemistry isn't there anymore. When Drew Brees comes back, Michael Thomas doesn't want to play. So I thought that there may have been some sort of, backlash from the whole how Drew Brees said something about Colin Kaepernick and the flag type thing. Did you get any of that, Pope, at all? Before, did you think that?
No, I mean, there was a lot of questions throughout the season because there was so much mystery. Sean Payton does not like to talk about things involving the team unless he absolutely has to. So yeah, I mean, there was all kind of rumors and questions that were popping up, but it just didn't fit the person he's shown to be the last couple of seasons. It just didn't really make sense. But in the end, the truth comes out, I suppose.
And to clarify, I will be getting that Kamara jersey. It will happen soon. it will happen. I need to get that.
That's a good choice.
Guy. Yeah, that's my guy, dude. Although I'm a little pissed at him that when I had him for fantasy last year, I think he got more touchdowns in 2 games. He got me all last season because of those injuries. So I was a little salty about that, but it's all good.
I just you kind of brought it up. I hate how Drew Brees was getting dragged through the dirt about how bad he played, and people just don't remember a whole body of work. All they do is remember this last game. That kind of sucks.
Yeah. I mean, it's the same thing with Peyton Manning. Right. I mean, his last year, they were oh, he's trash, he should retire. But you know what? If he was able to go out on top, he had the storybook ending. So,
yep,
good for him.
And I tell you what, Pope, you don't get this because you're a lifer. But let's say the year the Saints almost go to the Super Bowl. That year, I get, well, man, you're not even from New Orleans. Why you even? Well, ain't nobody worried about you. They played bad the other day. I'm getting, I get a picture of him with a little noodle arm. I get when they play bad, then it's all good, then I'm rooting for them. Yeah. They play good, then I'm a bandwagon fan. Come on, man.
No, I hate that.
But what's so Pope? So what's next, man? Because they made this, like you said, way more mysterious than it needed to be. In my mind, they brought in Jameis. I'm assuming he's going to get a shot. He didn't get those reps, and I just can't foresee that it would be Taysom Hill. So what would your guess be about? Do you have any clue about what they want to do for quarterback?
I mean, I really don't know. And I think I had brought it up to either you or Cedric. But I think they brought Jameis in to be like Teddy was the previous couple of years, where they keep Taysom as like the gadget guy, and then Jameis is the backup if something really happens. Things I heard, about in practice that Jameis kind of wasn't really showing a whole lot, But that doesn't mean next year he can't be that quarterback, I mean,
Right.
that was his whole point for coming to New Orleans, was to get better, to learn from Sean Payton and all the other quarterbacks. So, I would like him to get another shot. I don't think Taysom is it. I mean, I think he did fine this year, but I mean, as a starter for a whole year, teams are going to figure him out. And he's injury prone too. I mean, that was the big knock on him in BYU. And here he is, the biggest game, and he's not available. He got knocked out. I don't know. I mean, if not Jameis, then I don't know. I think they maybe trade for somebody, maybe like Wentz, or I would love if they got Deshaun, but I mean, I just don't think they'll be able to pull that off.
I did see
a bit of an issue.
I did see a picture floating around that had Dak in a Saints jersey. How y'all feel about that?
Hey, he's a Louisiana dude. I'll welcome him home. You know what I mean? Like
I thought that was interesting.
If Sean Payton's history of interest in quarterbacks, starting with Tony Romo to Drew Brees, he wanted to draft Mahomes. Whoever he decides, I have faith in him. I mean, even if you look at what he did without Drew Brees in, I mean, he's got one loss, two.
Yeah.
I don't even remember. One. I don't know. It's been a season. But yeah, I trust whatever decision they make, to be honest.
I think that'll be one of the bigger storylines, this offseason, what they do with the quarterback position.
But I do see that Drew hasn't made up his mind yet, right? Am I missing that? Like he hasn't, like he said he's thinking about it?
Man, he was blowing kisses and stuff after the game. I thought that was it.
Yeah, that look back, when he was going through the tunnel, that was like, I think he really, really, really thought that might have been his last time going through that tunnel. But I think he's just that dude that like he wants to keep going. Like you got to drag him off the field, basically. And I mean,
put him in the front
wouldn't be
like I don't want to see him like Brett Favre, like in a different uniform where it looks weird. You know what I mean? Like get Drew Brees in the front office, let him be a part. Like they're competitive dudes. Like they're not gonna, that competitive nature isn't going anywhere. But he can't.
Right.
I don't know. Same thing.
I agree. Like I mean, there's so many people that wish Drew Brees would run for like mayor or governor, like of New Orleans or Louisiana. Just because like we need somebody like that. But I don't know. I mean, he's got this contract with NBC that's whenever he retires. So I mean, I guess he's going to do that for a bit. But I know if he wants to come back, Sean Payton will stick with him. I mean, Sean Payton's proved that. Like I said, I don't think he should have came back when he did. I think he kind of rushed it, but Sean was going to ride or die with the legend as long as he could,
As New Orleans fans, do you guys want him out peacefully? Like you don't want him back, right? As a quarterback?
That sounds bad when you put it that way.
Yes. I'm trying to put it the best way. Yeah.
Is it time to move on?
Yeah.
I just think it's him in a couple quarterbacks. Him, Big Ben, maybe Phil Rivers. There's a lot of people that can still play at a high level, but at the end of the day, you might be holding that franchise back from winning these big games. Because, I mean, he played perfectly fine most of the season.
Yeah.
But I would have never thought in a million years it would be him throwing that many interceptions that hurt them in that game. It just might need some youth in there to move forward.
Like, my heart says I want to see Drew play and forever. But my head is saying, no, like he's holding us back. I mean, the Saints were number one in rushing this year, which I mean is a byproduct of the fact that Drew Brees wasn't consistent with his throws. I mean, I'm not going to say he couldn't throw down the field 20 yards because he did do it. He just couldn't do it consistently, and that arm strength comes and goes on him too. I mean, this year I don't even know what his accuracy numbers were this year, but it has to be the lowest in quite some time.
Yeah, I feel like he's getting more fragile. So
yeah.
The injury this year is pretty bad. How many ribs did he break?
11. Yeah,
what else was his injury? Punctured lung or something?
Yeah,
that's rough.
And I'm like trying to like relate to Pope because I don't have that football team, but I can relate it to like Yachty as a catcher here in St. Louis. Like you said, I want to see Yachty keep playing
Yeah, I agree.
and ever. But at some point, he's got to go. But yeah, so
Yachty's not there yet. Yachty's not there yet.
He's not there.
I think the big thing, like Drew Brees, and Marcus kind of touched on this, like, you know, when Drew Brees came to New Orleans, like that was the moment that I got season tickets because, you know, we had just went through Katrina, we had just went through the 3 games in LSU that were a complete disaster, and you know, like me and a bunch of friends just thought, okay, we'll get them in, you know, season tickets until they move to Los Angeles or whatever. And so many fans, bandwagon fans, became diehard fans of the Saints because of Drew Brees. And I don't think they really appreciate that we probably never are going to have somebody like him again. You know what I mean? Like, it's people like that and what they mean to franchises are super rare, you know, super rare.
Anything else you want to add to that, Marcus?
No, man, I agree. You know, I don't have the credibility in years, but if you go to that city, it's why it's hard for the Pelicans to compete and keep a name or find a name. They don't have that roots. They haven't had somebody that's had captivated the city like he has, and it's easy to see. It's very easy to see. So he'll be missed, or hopefully, like I said, hopefully he comes back. Put him on the staff somewhere. Work with the quarterbacks. Get Jameis right, man.
Yeah, for real.
So now can we talk about the other quarterback in that game a little bit? Tom,
Well, can I ask you?
Go ahead.
Did he play that great?
No, he didn't. No. And I think I texted you this. Like he's going to play until he doesn't make it to these championship games. Like he will keep playing.
Because I think Pope, the same thing Pope just said about Breeze, his downfield consistency, the arm strength coming and going. I think you can almost make that same. His numbers may be better, but it's the same thing throughout most of the season with Brady. However, when you get your team where they haven't been in forever, who cares? You gotta roll with them. You know what I mean?
This is his 14th conference championship game. 14.
Corey, I know you saw that stat. You saw the stat about the number of NFC appearances Brady's made compared to the Cowboys. It was like since 19.
Let's don't bring up the Cowboys, guys. This year was hard enough.
But did you see Dak? Did you see Dak's response to that? He put "hold my crutches."
I didn't see that.
It was like appearances since 1980 or whatever. Cowboys 0, Brady 1. Years playing the NFC, Brady 1, Cowboys 20 or whatever it was. Like,
God, it's been rough, man.
We'll talk about it in a minute, but they're gonna have their hands full with Rodgers. But if he can get to the Super Bowl, man, come on.
Yeah,
it'll be crazy.
I think it's amazing that we're talking about like 2 quarterbacks in like their early 40s playing at this level, you know, bringing their team to this point. I mean, remember when like Vinny Testaverde, you know, played like 41, 42, but he, I mean, I don't even remember if he was a backup or a starter, but it was kind of like a joke like that. Like, oh, look at this old man still playing. And it's like, you got these two, one of them being in the NFC Championship. It's pretty nice.
Yeah, no.
We kind of, before we move on, we kind of like skipped over the whole touchback fumble rule with Cleveland and Kansas City. Can somebody explain to me why that rule exists?
No idea.
I was gonna say, Corey, this seemed like something you might just know randomly.
What was it? Touchback.
So when he fumbled at the 1 yard line and it went out of the end zone and the other team gets the ball. That seems like I get going back to the 20 yard line, but let the team have the ball.
Yeah. So they just start back from the 20.
I don't know why they made that rule.
So weird.
It seems like a pretty harsh penalization. Like to have a turnover, I don't know. It just seems like it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't fit them, but they still had a chance to win it, so that's on them. I feel like they got a great second chance by the greatest quarterback of this decade, maybe being out of the game for an entire quarter. So still a weird rule, though.
For sure.
Yeah. It is.
And then Chad Henne, 3rd and 14. Ugh. I was trying to see if I had any like miscellaneous stuff we want. Oh yeah, I know what you want to talk about. Go ahead. What you got?
I was gonna bring up. Did y'all see the video of AJ Brown live from the hospital?
Yes.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
So he's like, it's like literally he's probably post surgery, clearly high on drugs in the hospital. And I had him
He
in
went
fantasy.
live.
He was live, and so I remember he was out. He said week 2 they told him he would miss the rest of the year, and he's like, I played the whole year, all pro. But he's clearly like high off drugs. He's like, oh, stop him. But how beast is that to like supposed to be out the entire year and be able to play at that elite level he did. He had some great highlights this year.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was funny.
I
His publicist and his team people hate him for that right now.
It's so bad. So bad.
You can't tell people we told you were done for the year and you played the whole year. It don't work that way. Yeah,
I got a question.
Go
I
ahead.
got a question for you. Who do y'all feel is the better Ole Miss wide receiver, DK or AJ Brown?
Ooh.
See, and that's what we've compared him to this year because they came out that.
Yeah.
I kind of lean toward AJ Brown myself.
Because he's more consistent.
Yeah, I mean DK, he's got Russell Wilson throwing to him. I just think AJ can do the same. I don't know. I feel like you can't go wrong with either one, but I'll lean toward AJ a little bit.
That's tough, man. I mean, I'm biased because I watch AJ Brown every game this year, but just off like a ceiling and just size, DJ Metcalf's a freak, man. I probably have to roll those dice and roll with him.
Hope you asked the question. What's your answer?
I mean, I thought AJ Brown was going to be the better one coming out. And I think he still is the better one, just for like Corey said, with consistency. I mean, DK will have like some amazing games, and then he'll kind of have some so-so games. But I mean, he's a physical freak. I mean, he kind of reminds me of a much better version of David Boston, if you remember him. Like,
yeah, I forget how big Mike Evans is. Like, just how big of a guy Mike Evans is. He's not near as like athletic and chiseled as like Metcalf, but he's a big dude.
Big, yeah,
big target. And that's what these older quarterbacks need. They need those big targets. So,
okay.
All right, let's get into it. Deshaun Watson, what y'all think? Does he? I mean, me and Marcus go back and forth from time to time, and I kind of like sway the fence because I love player empowerment, but sometimes there's like too much player empowerment. But obviously, Houston's franchise is starting to just look awful. Mm-hmm. And for JJ Watt, who literally is like the cheesiest guy ever, doesn't say anything bad about anybody, for him to come out and like start, like getting a little negative toward that franchise, that says a lot. So I feel like Deshaun needs to go.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and this is different though than some of the other cases you see where the franchise may not have done anything. At least you don't publicly know that. You see this, Deshaun Watson's like he's the kind of guy you want. He don't cause any trouble. The whole thing with trading away his best receiver, and he still signed his contract, came back. He's the guy you want to be making happy, and probably don't even have to do much to do that. So for them to do him wrong and tell him he's going to be part of decisions, and then don't put him in decisions, that's on them. So if he wants to play a little hardball with him, I'm with it because that's 3 strikes between getting rid of Hopkins and then this.
And that, just to put it in perspective, his agent said when they got rid of Hopkins, his anger level was a 2. When they hired this GM without even telling him, his anger level was a 10. So like
first of all, I should have been higher than a 2 when they got rid of Hopkins.
Mine would have been a 10 for me. Been a 10 for me.
Yeah, like, and him having a no trade clause in his contract is so big for like I like it. I mean, he can any trade that comes his way and he doesn't want, he can decline it. So he's got power.
So let's go around the horn. Everybody, give me one team you want to see where you want to see him land.
I'm going last.
What do you say?
Well, everybody give one. Everybody give one team.
You give one team where you want to see him go.
Yeah, that's somewhat realistic, I guess.
I don't know if it's how realistic it is, but I'd like to see him in Dallas.
Is that what everybody's doing?
Yeah, y'all gonna say New Orleans?
Yeah, I've already made it known. Like, I would love to have Deshaun. I mean, Jameis can still learn on the Deshaun as well. Yeah.
Marcus,
I
you
mean,
going to New Orleans?
Yeah, but that's boring since Pope's doing it. Let me think of something else. I think another good spot. I'm trying to think where I would want to go. What about Matty Ice is done? What about going to the Falcons?
Yeah.
You got Julio
Yeah.
Ain't Calvin Ridley?
and Calvin Ridley.
And they playing it.
Who's
They're
their
playing the
coach?
Dome, right?
Yeah, they're no. Who's their coach?
Yeah.
Shit.
We're not that podcast. We don't know.
Wait, I don't know if they've hired one yet or
Okay,
not.
yeah.
Wait a minute. Did they just hire?
They
Did they
just
just hire somebody today?
No, they got Terry Fontenot from the Saints as their new GM, but I don't know if they have a head coach yet.
He's a black dude, right? They hired a black GM. Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for the 2 third-round picks, Atlanta. Appreciate it.
So hear me out, and I don't think that he would waive his no trade clause to go there. I want to see him in New England. Make the Patriots relevant again.
I think before this year that would have been appealing, but I think this year you realize like, oh shit, they actually don't have anybody on their roster.
Yeah. Well, a lot of the defense set out for COVID. Like their big guys in defense set out for COVID. I can't think of their names.
I mean their offense though.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. That's why I don't think he would do it. It looks like like I said, the NFL is weird as hell, but it looks like the most and of course they don't know either, but the media, they're throwing out 49ers, Dolphins, and now the Jets.
Well, they say he won in Miami, right? I think that was from him.
Yeah.
I think he'd be a good fit with the Bears.
Yeah.
Too cold.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
Too cold.
I mean, I think
but the Rams though,
to make an argument for any team, man. I mean, he's top 5 quarterback. I mean, if you can't use him, you must have Patrick Mahomes or somebody, you know.
If I was him, I'd go to the Rams if that was a possibility.
Yeah.
They got the weapons, they got the defense, they got the coach.
Got the defense. Yeah.
Great coach.
I feel like Washington football team's a quarterback away. I said that a couple weeks ago. I feel like they're a quarterback away. Taylor Heineke's not going to get it done, you know?
We don't know that yet, all right?
We don't know that yet.
You look good, man.
I think you know, like I was saying, like I mean, this offseason is going to be so weird. There's so many things that can happen. Like people that are starting quarterbacks now might not be there. You know, all the people that are going to be free agents, and then you've got 2 of the best prospects in a while in the draft. You know, with Trevor Lawrence and Fields. Like it's nuts. It's really nuts.
Did you give us a team, Marcus? Did you give us a team where you wanted to see him?
Falcons.
Okay. That's right.
Yeah, Falcons.
Actually, F that. No, I don't want them getting Watson. What am I thinking? No, go to Miami.
Yeah. What are you talking about? You don't want
I
him
hope the dome actually burns down. First of all, how they gonna steal the Mercedes? Get a new sponsor. The Saints already have that. How can that be your dome? Get out of here. Hope it all burns
that's
down.
all Mercedes, man. As soon as the sponsorship's up, they drop in Mercedes. They're gonna go into like Zatarans to Booger's butt paste or something like that.
Smoothie King Arena.
We already got that. Like,
oh man, I'm trying to think. We got anything else miscellaneous for football?
So you just said Trevor Lawrence. Like, so now that Urban Meyer's in Jacksonville for sure, there's no way he doesn't take Trevor Lawrence and goes Ohio State quarterback, right? After that game, he's got to go Trevor Lawrence, right?
I think we have to go Trevor Lawrence.
I think so.
Yeah, okay. I'm just saying, like, Urban Meyer, Ohio State roots, like, he doesn't get, like, you know, a little tricky and take Justin Fields.
Why does he have to take Lawrence? Fields look good, you know?
Still taking Lawrence.
I mean, he obviously came back down to reality in the final game, you know what I mean? But because before there's like, oh, it's got to be him. But I don't think it would be the craziest thing for the Ohio State guy to take Fields.
If he really wants Fields, I would hope he at least drops back and doesn't take him number 1.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Interesting.
they're saying Devontae Smith could go number 2, but I don't
Who's
know.
got two?
Jets.
Jets. If
Sam
they stick
Darnold
with
going to throw
Darnold,
to him?
huh?
Sam Darnold going to throw to him?
I mean, that's what people are saying. If they stick with him, then they might draft Smith. But people are saying it's crazy to draft a wide receiver
That
number
high.
2 overall. Yeah. I
And
don't know.
what's going on with Matthew Stafford in Detroit? What's going on with him? Like, is he still valuable? I was just thinking about teams where Watson could go.
I think he would be. I think he deserves to go somewhere else.
Yeah.
I think
Nobody
he's
wants to
still
go
playing
to
at
Detroit.
Yeah, I just think he's still playing at a pretty high level, and just like Megatron, just like, you know what, this ain't worth getting hurt every year. They're wasting my career, and it's not Stafford. I feel like he deserves to go somewhere where he can be a little more competitive.
Yeah.
But who knows if they make it happen?
Yeah, that's all you had for NFL.
And I throw this out there. I was 4 for 4 on my picks this weekend.
Ooh. Nice.
I was not.
I don't know how this is going to go.
I miss Ravens and Browns, the damn AFC North.
And you
feel like
picked
you
2
knew one of
AFC
them.
North teams. I forgot about that.
Wait, we haven't done our picks yet. Let me refill this real quick, and we gotta do our picks. We'll go AFC first. I mean, I guess a lot rides if Pat Mahomes is playing. He's going to play. Like, he's not going to play, but if he's 100% healthy, I didn't even look up who's favored. Who cares? Bills versus Chiefs. Who you got?
I'm about to look it up.
Chiefs.
You going Chiefs?
If he plays and is healthy, obviously.
He's going to play. There's no way he doesn't play.
Well, I mean, it depends when it comes to like whether it's neck concussion. Like, I see they said that to give themselves some leeway, but head injury, neck injury, I don't know. I guess Breeze got back with broken ribs, so you just never know in football.
They said it's Chiefs by 3.
Chiefs by 3?
That's yeah. I'm going with the Bills, man.
Okay.
Hot take. Going with the Bills. The way they're playing, I'm not confident in that, but I'm going with the Bills.
I want to go Bills too. I think they could pull it off, but then, I mean, Andy Reid's such a great coach. I'm going Bills. Bills is my first thought. That's what I'm going to stick with.
Yeah.
This is the first time, like, I literally just don't know. I'm so conflicted. I want the Bills to win, and I think they can for sure. I want the Bills to win. I just don't feel good picking against the Chiefs anymore. You know, I just
Yeah.
I'll go Chiefs.
Yeah, like I said, it definitely depends on his health because he looked bad. People get concussions all the time. And when he tried to get back up, I mean, it could have been other factors, but he looked bad. But if he's healthy, it's hard to bet against him.
And
However,
there was something wrong with his left toe too before that concussion.
Yeah. But the Bills look great, so I don't think that would be a huge shocker if they come out and just do what they've been doing, really. So that's going to be a good one.
Before we get the answers to the next game, do you feel like this game is more the Bills Chiefs is more up in the air than Bucks Packers?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
I think so.
All right, let's get into it. Who you got, Bucks or Packers?
I think the Packers, and it's probably going to be by double digits.
Ooh.
I can see it. We gotta. I keep thinking back when the Bucks smacked them earlier in the season, but I know they don't matter now. But
what's the betting
38 to 10
betting line on that? What's the betting line on that one?
3.5 Green Bay.
I'm
going with Green Bay though.
Yeah, I mean, I guess Tampa Bay know better than anybody that getting smacked early in the season don't mean nothing since they just beat the Saints after getting smacked. So
I was thinking back to that when we were talking about the Saints earlier. Like Corey was like, it's very hard to beat a team 3 times in a row. I think that doesn't make sense, but
it really is.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Packers, man. They look good. I mean, they're one of the few teams playoffs like that game was never really in doubt. You know what I mean? They look good. So
I said Packers from the get-go, so I'm going to go Packers, but I feel really, really bad about picking against Tom Brady. But Packers as well.
I saw a post earlier that said, "Who's the worst quarterback left in the playoffs?" It was Tom Brady. I'm like, you know what? That's weird to say, but it's true. He's the worst quarterback left out of the four.
Yeah.
That's probably never happened in his career when he's got down to the Final Four and him being the worst.
I saw that picture and I was like, this is weird to think about.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So we all got Packers, and then Pope and Corey got Bills.
Yep.
Patrick Mahomes, man, he's so good. Like I feel like he's Drew Brees with wheels. Like when Drew Brees, well, back in the day, what was his completion percentage? Drew Brees, like 74% or higher.
Yeah.
Like Patrick Mahomes, every time he drops back to throw, he's going to find somebody. Like somebody's going to catch his ball.
Man, he's on sidearm and everything.
I just wonder, do they do themselves a disservice by abandoning the running game so often?
Yeah.
Like to me, they throw, and this is as a fantasy owner of one of their starting running backs, they just don't even look to run sometimes when it's unnecessary. And I just always go back to that like Russell Wilson interception when you throw when it's unnecessary. Run that thing too, man. Use a running back.
They throw on first down a lot.
Matter of fact, people were saying when he got hit, why is he running the ball anyway? You got Le'Veon Bell. You got multiple running backs, man.
Yeah.
They're still going to win, though. But
if Mahomes is healthy.
Bills Mafia is going to lose their shit if they make it to the Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah.
I've already seen like all like the Lowe's and Home Depot, like all their tables are just gone.
That is one of the best traditions.
Wouldn't that be some shit if they made it and they let them down again? Again?
They lost 4 in a row in the 90s, right?
4 in a row. Was it 4? It was 4, wasn't it?
Yeah, 4.
4, yeah.
That's like I thought being a LeBron fan hurt sometimes, but losing 4 in a row.
At least he's won some, you know.
Does being a LeBron fan hurt? Does it, Heath?
Sometimes it does, Marcus.
Does it hurt to go to the finals every year?
Right.
There's like a Hornets fan somewhere very upset about how spoiled you are. Very, very upset.
Not always fun. It's not always fun. Well, let's get into it. We've already had our drink break, so we usually pop off our NBA talk. We let Marcus give us his top 5 in power rankings. Has much change, Marcus?
Now, don't say I'm jumping the gun with this one, but I had someone that I'm moving the Nets all the way to number 1.
You got Nets at number 1.
Whoa,
number 1, bro. Number 1. Don't boy. Now look, they got.
Is 2 through 5 matter? Then are you gonna give us 2 through 5?
What you say you were sipping on tonight?
Dude, I know, you know. So here's how it goes on this podcast, bro. I give my expertise, and then Corey just says Lakers in 4, no matter what I'm talking about.
Lakers in 5.
Man, I watching those guys play, man, it's been crazy. But anyway, I'm gonna say that I think they got a good shot to win it all because at the very least, who the hell thought 3 weeks into the season that KD was like the clear MVP at the moment?
He's going to win comeback. He's going to win comeback and MVP both.
He's averaging 30 points a game. So you got him. Just the play. I don't know if you guys watched the Bucks game yesterday. James Harden missed the 3. Hustle got his own rebound. So you know what? I'm gonna just let KD handle this game. And they don't even have Kyrie right. They're gonna be tough, man. But anyway, so I got Nets, Lakers, Clippers, Celtics, Bucks.
So ESPN has almost the exact same. They don't have Nets in there. They have basically the same thing, but they have the Sixers at 5, and then the Nets at 6. So close.
Yeah, I got the Sixers and Suns right outside of it. I'm still liking the Suns. They're pretty evenly spread on their team. Ben Simmons let me down. He shot that 3. I thought he was back, and then I saw him airball one the other day. So he had the ball in the clutch moment, and he was at the 3-point line in the last game, and so he passed it. So to me, that's scary. If your best point guard is like scared to take a jump shot to win that game, so that kind of he ruined a lot of the good vibes I have for the Sixers. But I still believe in them to be competitive.
To piggyback off what you said, the East is done. It's a wrap. The Eastern Conference doesn't even have to play anymore this year. The Nets, it's over. Like,
Well,
who's
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what. Our guy Drew Holiday, he had James Harden. He was picking him up at half court. So him and Giannis, having Giannis's length and then having him to play, they actually defended them pretty well, which is why it went down to a buzzer beater.
Like 34 and 14. He was picking up at half court and he still got 34 and 14.
Yeah, this goes down to when you hear a defender, they say some people you're not going to stop, but can you make it difficult for them? And that's why they lost by 1 point, 2 points or whatever. So they're still going to win it though, but they look good. James Harden's having fun. He slimmed down overnight.
Man was wearing a fat suit.
Right.
He finessed everywhere.
T-shirts in his jersey.
Everywhere. He did that shit on purpose. So with the net, it's Kyrie. So it all depends. If they're going to win the East more than likely, no matter what. But they're going to be a clear championship favorite if Kyrie comes back and doesn't need. James Harden is getting you a 30-point double-double every night. So Kyrie's not going to have the ball in his hands all the time. So that's where it's going to be tricky.
Trading.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah. That was really my biggest.
Trading for some more pieces.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's just me though.
I don't think they can do that though.
You think because of KD?
They went there like they were searching for teams together, and KD with him, I mean, he left a winning situation in Golden State. So for him, I don't think it's just about winning. I think unless he okays it, I don't see him being like, yeah, we seem good. Trade my guy. I just don't see that. But you never know. Weird shit happens.
Yeah.
So all of y'all are on y'all think they look good enough? Just let them.
I think they're good enough without him. They can get some more depth, but I don't know. I don't think they're going to trade him though.
I still got to see him with Kyrie.
Yeah.
But as a LeBron fan, I'm already scared. Like I'm scared. Like I'll say Lakers in 6. I'll give the Nets one more game in court.
Lakers in 5.
I think you guys are right though. From like a personnel standpoint, it can make sense because right now they have a bench, but like they have DeAndre Jordan, and then I don't know who their backup center really is. So they could get some depth, but I just think from a chemistry standpoint, I think that would piss KD off, and I think that could be counterproductive. But
I think Jalen Rose brought up a good point. So like Steve Nash was with Kevin Durant in the Warriors, like he was assistant on that Warriors bench. Then Mike D'Antoni was with James Harden. So like they're all together like the Avengers, and Kyrie's just that guy. Like he's just there.
Jane, why is Kyrie all cast out all of a sudden? Why does everybody hate Kyrie?
He kind of. I'm a Kyrie
just
guy.
Disappeared for 7 games.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So I feel like Go ahead.
I was gonna say I feel like Kyrie's one bad night from being on Instagram eating Vaseline like Stephon Marbury, man. Like I just don't know what to expect from him.
Eating Vaseline.
Yeah, that was really hard to watch, man.
And I think him being away these 2 games and everybody seeing the Nets do what they can do with just those 2 guys, I think that hurt Kyrie's cause even more.
Yeah.
His cause of buying a house for
I'm with it. No, I'm with what he's doing. But I'm saying from like let's separate that for a minute. Like all NBA basketball talk. Like as a team, like winning, like they can win without him. So if they trade him for more pieces, they already have the 2 top 5 scorers of all time.
They can both get 30 plus a night together.
I mean, I think the same could have been said when they just had Kyrie and Durant. I saw their numbers; they were like plus 23 when they were both on the court today. So, or when they're together, I think if they want to beat some of the better teams, having Kyrie is going to make them a better team. I don't know. I think it's unfair when he hasn't even played a game with that lineup yet. Yeah. But we kind of just talked about this, how the media says something, and you're like, that makes sense. Let him get on the court, see if he F's it up. Then trade his ass.
Yep.
Because if you want to get by the LeBrons of the world, you can't just have a good team. You got to have a great team. Right. You know what I mean? Right. You got to because even with the roster they have now, what did they do with Anthony Davis? So the Lakers already have the edge because they have that X factor. You need the Avengers. You need the whole squad to beat AD and LeBron. So I wouldn't ship him out just yet.
No, I'm with you. Definitely want to see how he fits. I just thought that was interesting, like how like Nash already has that relationship with KD, and D'Antoni already has that relationship with Harden, and now Kyrie's just there. But KD and Kyrie they got a connection. I'm with you on that for sure. Can we talk about the East? Like, what is there? Can any team beat them in a 7-game series in the East?
I don't see it.
I don't either.
I don't see it happening. No, I think the Bucks. I don't know. Celtics maybe. I don't think they'll beat them, but it might make it difficult.
Giannis went 1 for 10 from the free throw line, and they were letting him shoot those threes. They just let him shoot.
Yeah.
That's not even normal for him though, right? To miss that many free throws. That was out of character. So I didn't put too much into it, but that's an ugly stat line to have.
You have the league pass, Marcus, so you like watch a lot of the games. Like, just watching the Bucks, like, do you feel they could make any like Bucks, Sixers, Celtics, anybody?
Are you talking about as far as beating the Nets?
Just in the East, yeah.
No, I don't see anybody that can beat the Nets. I think nope. I don't even think I had to make like some spiel about it. And I mean, these guys look incredible, like I said, without adding Kyrie, because you never even know how they can stagger some of those lineups because their bench is a little weak. So now I see like maybe Kyrie, them starting, him staying in longer, playing with the second unit. They're gonna be nasty, man. I don't see Miami doing it. I think their season was fluky. They won't be that good this year. It's gonna be either the Celtics or the Bucks.
Yeah.
Ben Simmons
and Embiid ain't getting it done.
No.
Well, Tobias Harris has been balling for them as well as that rookie, but it ain't enough.
I feel like what most people aren't even like mentioning is the whole Mike D'Antoni and Steve Nash offense. They're going to dare you. Okay, yeah, we might not stop you, but you're going to have to score 130 points to beat us because we're going to score 130.
Yeah. It's going to be fun to watch, that's for sure.
Do the Lakers need to make any moves to combat it, or you like their roster, Corey?
I don't know what moves they would make or what moves they can make, honestly. I like their roster the way it is. I think they're good defensively, and they're better than they were last
right now, right?
Yeah. What you think, Pope? What do you think about the Nets, Lakers?
Yeah, I mean, I think let's say with the Lakers, like, what other moves can they make? They are definitely better. Picking up Schroeder seems to be like a nice pickup. And then with the Nets, I mean, the big question is Kyrie. If they can make that work, then yeah, I mean, there's nobody even going to come close, even the Bucks, you know.
And they still got Dinwiddie on contract coming back. Like, the Nets set up for a while if they do this smart.
Yeah, it'd be fun to watch, man. I know Kyrie's. I just hate the Kyrie slander it right now. It kind of got a lot of people are walking it back a little bit since they've kind of see what he's actually been doing. But I'm like, man, get this guy a chance to play on the roster to see how he fits.
I wish people would stop and separate it. Like, can we just like, okay, let's talk about the Nets like on the court and then how good of work like he's doing off. Like, people don't separate. They like link them both together and then just slander him. It's like silly.
Yeah.
You know who? Go ahead.
I was just gonna say at the to some extent though, like I said, I'm all for, and I was kind of like hold the brakes at first, but the only issue I would have had is if he didn't communicate any of this to the team going into it. That's where I think it's unfair. If you're out, you need a hill, you're working with politicians, you're doing all that stuff. That's awesome, man. That's like you said, that's Ali type stuff.
Yeah.
But you got to let the team know something that's going on. And they kind of made that unclear whether he communicated with the team at all because they kept saying disappeared. You know what I mean?
I agree with you on that.
That's not good for a millionaire to disappear when you get paid like that.
Right.
Like, you feel bad for Kyrie, like, and all this. You know who I feel bad for? Russell Westbrook. He looks at KD and James Harden back together again, and he just over there like,
yeah.
What could have been?
What could have been, man.
They're not very good right now. So, real quick, I think the next thing I had, I'm watching him out the corner of my eye right now. Pope, man, what's up, man? They brought in Stan Van Gundy to make these technical decisions, and I texted you the other day, when you lose close games for silly mistakes, that makes me so mad. So, what do you think about the Pelicans right now? Are you impressed? Disappointed?
I feel like I go through a wide range of emotions on a game by game basis, just because, and I feel like a lot of that is because they're all young, and Van Gundy had like a month, if that, to work with them before the season started. So I think just wait and see. I liked the hire when they made it. I thought it was a solid hire. I thought we finally got a coach instead of somebody that just goes out there and says, hey, run down the court as fast as you can. I see growth in players. I mean, especially Jackson Hayes. I mean, from the first game this season, he looked terrible. And now he's starting to have productive minutes. Nickeil Alexander-Walker is looking good. Kyra Lewis, even the other night, he's starting to look good too. The big question is Lonzo. Can he be consistent? Because when he's on, he looks like he could be an all-star, and when he's not, he looks like he should be playing in the Australian League.
Has Bledsoe played better than you thought he would?
To be honest, I didn't really have a whole lot of expectations for Bledsoe, and he's been super inconsistent too. And I had read somewhere that he suffers from anxiety. And that kind of is what led to his playoff issues. And I feel bad because I see the inconsistencies, but it's I don't think he should be starting right now. I think he can be more productive off the bench until he can find that consistency. I mean, that's just the overall theme for the Pelicans is consistency. They can find that, they'll slide into the playoffs mid-seed, maybe a low seed, but until then, it's a work in progress.
Yeah, they had 3 games in a row that I watched the whole game where they were in control. I mean, Charlotte, they were up almost 20. Against Indiana, they were up 6 with less than 20 seconds left and blew those games. So definitely, I mean, the biggest thing, Ingram's an all-star. Lonzo's shot looks better. They have some good things, but they still got some time. They ain't ready yet.
No.
They got a lot of season there. I think they'll be all right.
Yeah.
I think there's definitely going to be a lot of decisions once the season's over with. I mean, with Lonzo, with Josh Hart, them choosing not to sign a mid-season, kind of give him a chance, see what you got. I love Josh Hart. I think he is one of the most consistent players. I mean, every game he's going to play as hard as he can, give whatever he can. I think Steven Adams, too, is a great pickup, even though the lane kind of gets a little cluttered for Zion sometimes. But I think Steven Adams is a much smarter player than people gave him credit for, and they've been able to make it work. We'll see.
When is Lonzo's contract up?
After the season.
Ooh.
Yeah, so there's the big thing that they didn't agree on the extension, you know what I mean? So I'm sure it doesn't help when you saw, what Ingram just did with his.
Yeah.
Ingram's putting up all-star production though, so I don't know how this is going to pan out for him, but his shot clearly looks much better, much more comfortable shooting it.
Lonzo want to go play with his brother, Charlotte?
Yeah, probably not. Probably not. I don't know.
LaMelo looks good, dude. He looks like he's going to be.
He's got a good feel for the game for sure.
Yeah. His IQ is up there. His basketball.
Yeah. Some of those passes he's been making have been impressive.
Yeah, no doubt, man.
He might win Rookie of the Year after all.
Yeah, he's got that. He's leading in every statistic right now in rookies, right? Every statistic.
Yeah. I think he's tied for one of them, but he's number 1 or at least tied for in every category. So my next thing. Oh, go ahead, Poe. My bad.
No, I was going to say it was really surprising to see how strong his basketball IQ is. I mean, can Lonzo get some lessons or something?
Poor LiAngelo. Like LiAngelo, what?
Yeah, what happened with him?
Yeah,
He's just not that good though.
Yeah.
He's just not.
I don't
Not
think
gonna
he has
make-
the ceiling.
That would be hard. That would be hard if you had brothers both in the NBA and you weren't like that would be tough.
Yeah, mentally, I feel like that's got to do something.
No, so Pope, you mentioned Lewis for the Pelicans, man. I'm still kind of salty. Plus, I'm a UNC guy. I was salty they didn't take Cole Anthony, and he looks pretty good over there in Orlando. Now, maybe he's like too aggressive, too ready right now for what they have going on. If that makes any sense, but I couldn't understand why they passed on him, and he looks good right now. So, do you think they made the right choice picking that point guard over Anthony?
I do, just because I think if Anthony was on the Pelicans, he would kind of be wasted. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think they really have an idea of how they want this roster to be. I mean, they're still working with lineups and, you know, I think it was the right pick for them and the right pick for Anthony too.
Yeah, I mean, it obviously helps him. I think I had that written down that like Fultz went down. I didn't realize this. I mean, they were obviously one of the teams that went 4-5, 5-0 or something like that, and they haven't won a game since Fultz got hurt. Like, was he that important to that squad?
They started 5-0. Now they're 6-8.
What's their? I didn't see their schedule or nothing, but does their schedule get tougher? I haven't looked.
The East is really jumbled right now. Like there's
Miami 12.
The number 6 seed all the way through the 12th seed is all one game apart.
And Miami's down there at 12 right now.
Yeah.
And Cleveland is 7. What is that? Knicks at 6.
Yep. Hey, Julius Randle. Can we talk about Julius Randle for a minute? Balling. Why did the Pelicans not keep him?
He wanted to stay too. I remember that, Pope.
Yeah.
He wanted to stay. I think it was a money thing. I don't think they were going to give him as much as the Knicks were. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that was the biggest thing. I forget exactly what it was, but I want to say it involved around money.
I remember the Knicks were clown when they gave him all that money, but I forget who said, like some podcast, like they said every NBA team is going to have a player somebody's got to get those stats. So it's kind of like inflated because he has no one else there doing it also. So, but I feel like he's balling.
And they're winning games too. So, I mean, it'd be different if it was on like a team that was losing. But, I mean, he played well with the Pelicans, man. I think that's the team where he finally like found his groove. But, you know, he just didn't fit money-wise as far as what they were doing. That's the same thing too. They gave up on old Christian Wood.
Yeah.
And he's over there.
Oh, yeah. That killed me.
He called Shaq a casual. You see that we called Shaq a casual? Shaq was like, I'm sorry, I didn't really know who you were. It's you just a casual.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, he'd be perfect for this roster right now. But,
yeah, he would.
Yeah.
Hey, Obi only getting 12 minutes a game, 5 points. I thought he would get more than that, honestly.
I did too, obviously, when I picked him for my rookie.
Yeah. That's why I brought that up. I just saw it on here.
Oh.
Dude, Alec Burks is their second leading scorer. He's averaging 20 a game.
That's crazy.
Wow.
That's what because they were, I forget who it was, but they were bringing up like Kevin Love in Minnesota. Like when you have nobody, somebody's got to be there to get those stats. Like he was.
That man was getting 20 and 20.
A walking. Yeah. And then you go somewhere where you have people that also are going to get those stats. You kind of just drop down a bit. So, but yeah.
Yep.
I don't know if you had anything else for NBA.
I do. I got right after that. And you know, when I wrote this, it was before the Warriors game. So I was like, shit, dude, I might have, shot myself in the foot with this because I put, can the Warriors keep winning? I was like, I hope they win this game.
And they were down 19 too?
Yeah. I did it before the game even started. It was early in the day. And I was like, oh, they play the Lakers. But so, you guys saw the highlights. Before I dive into it, Do you guys think they have a roster that can continue winning, or do they need to make a move? And we'll just say to even make the playoffs.
I was going to say, when you say winning, do you mean contenders or playoffs? So you're going playoffs.
I mean, I think when this season started, nobody even thought they were going to make the playoffs. They looked terrible. So, and these days you get in the playoffs, you're an injury away from being a contender. So, Do you think they get into the playoffs? West is good.
If Steph carries the team like an Allen Iverson, yes, I think they can make the playoffs. I think he's got enough star ability, him and Draymond and Wiseman coming on. I think he can get them as an 8 seed at least.
Yeah, I agree.
Go ahead.
The other night with Draymond coaching up Wiseman, to me I thought that was crucial, because I mean that's where Wiseman's really going to pay dividends, on the defense more than anything. And I do think they could slide, 6th, 7th, 8th seed, something like that.
What do you think, Corey?
I agree. I think they can make the playoffs with this roster. I think they should try to make a move, though, because I feel like they can compete a little bit if they make the right move. Not really sure what, but they got some pieces they can move with Wiggins and Oubre. I mean, I feel like they can move those and get somebody.
They're not going to give up on Oubre yet. They won't.
He's actually been playing well. He's the piece. So from the first couple games, now he has like a competent enough roster where Wiggins is finally getting buckets like he thought he could. He's actually playing pretty good defense too. And then Oubre, now he's found at least a little bit of his touch from the 3-point line. You already saw he was dunking on everybody, but now he's feeling he got a tech for blowing the kiss after a 3 last night. So now he has like at least – so he's not even Iverson, because Iverson to me one with some pretty bad rosters. He's got He's got a competent enough roster that if he just gets them that 27 to 30 a game, they can compete with anybody. Like I don't know if they're going to beat the Lakers in a 7-game series, but on any given night they can get them. Because like you said, they did that, and Steph wasn't even hot.
Right. Yeah, because I don't know if you texted me or what, but then I went and I looked at the box score because I saw that they won by 2. I was like, Steph must have lit them up. I was like, Steph had 20. He only hit 3 threes. And then I was like, LeBron had 19. Did you watch the whole game?
Mm-hmm.
Like what? It looked weird. The box score looked odd for a Lakers.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, man. AD was kind of slow at times. He's still just shooting a ton of jumpers, which he can make them, but like he bails a team like that out when he's just shooting jumpers. Kuzma actually got hot randomly, but really it was just a well balanced from the Warriors side. You know what I mean? Between Oubre knocking down threes and Wiggins playing well, Bazemore's hitting threes. That other guy they got, Eric Pascal, whatever his name is.
Yeah, 19.
He's balling, man. So they're competent enough that they can compete with anybody on a given night. In a series, I don't know.
I want to go ahead. I'm gonna stop. I want to apologize because I feel like I owe Allen Iverson an apology for comparing Steph's team to those teams that Allen Iverson carried. Allen Iverson, I'm sorry. Your teams were way worse than that team.
Yeah,
have you
way
went
worse.
back and looked at that Sixers team that went to the finals? Have you looked at that team?
Yeah, I was watching. I was there. I had my Iverson jersey on.
Eric Snow, Aaron McKee, Tyrone Hill, Dikembe Mutombo. Like, come on, man.
Yeah, they were lucky to get that
first,
one game.
They got that one win too.
In the final, they were because the Lakers
That's
swept.
the only game they lost.
Yeah, that's crazy. I wish I was like mature enough to still to know that now, like what Allen Iverson had to do to carry that team.
Yeah, because I think he dropped like 50 that game they won. Like, it was crazy. That was a crazy season for him.
But yeah, no, I'm with you. I think the Warriors can make the playoffs. I don't see them competing.
Yeah, like you said, if you're being realistic, like Corey said, they should at least. I would try to make a move if there was one out there. Maybe they don't want to give up too much because they think they have enough once Klay comes back. I would just be a little nervous. We're spoiled seeing like KD come back and look so well, but like Klay just had multiple injuries, so I would just be a little nervous wondering what you get back. At least I would be nervous waiting. If that's what you're wondering. So,
what was Klay's? Was his ACL and then Achilles?
Yeah,
I think so.
That's tough.
And KD looks hungry on the defensive end too. Man,
Yeah.
he's just playing out of his mind.
Nets in 5.
Lakers in 5, baby.
I don't feel comfortable saying Lakers in 5 anymore. I'll give them 6.
Look, I didn't feel comfortable sometimes when I said it last year, but I said it every round. They let me down in the finals, but every round it was Lakers in 5 until the finals. Then it went 6. I'm just gonna keep saying it.
And y'all know who's screwed? My boy Melo. Well, I mean, he's actually doing well because he's about to get a ton of shots. First they lost. Yeah, but remember when I talked to y'all last, it was only a week. Now they came back and they found his worst. So he's out he'll be reevaluated in 3 or 4 weeks. So now they're out there starting center and McCollum and Zach Collins.
They're already sitting at 6, yeah. But
on the flip side, Melo about to let that thing go.
Yeah, he is.
So many shots. All right, man. So what's up with the Heat before we move on? Is it just a slow start? What?
I mean, I thought they were picking right back up, but then again, I mean, that was against the Pelicans at the beginning of the season. So I mean, they make anybody look like they're picking up. So I don't know.
5 and 7. I didn't realize that.
Was it a bubble fluke, like so many said, or is it just a slow start?
What you got?
I don't have them beating anybody significant in the playoffs.
I don't think they're good enough to go. I don't think they should have been in the finals last year. I don't think they're good enough to go back. But I don't know. I'm looking at the box score from their last game. Did Jimmy Butler not play? Tyler Hero didn't play? Are they injured? I haven't seen.
Yeah, and they did have a couple of games where COVID hit them. Remember, because they were one of the teams that played with 8 at one time. This whole I was scared for a minute, like the NBA season was about to be shut down.
Yeah.
All these games were getting postponed and stuff.
Yeah, there's been a lot more. There was just 3 the other day. Oh my God, I felt like they're getting blasted.
By who?
Utah, 58-73. God damn it.
I think the Heat will be fine once they have everybody there. They'll probably be a 5 seed, maybe 6. I don't know. Just guessing.
Just guessing. Just goofing. Let me score.
I can't tell with them. I don't think they're good enough to compete with those top teams. I do think last year was kind of a fluke for them.
I hate when people talk about because some people say the bubble was the hardest thing ever, and then other people say the bubble is the bubble fluke. I don't know. I hate when people bring up the bubble.
Not the bubble in itself. I just think they got hot at the right time in that setting.
Yeah, that's what I think. Yeah.
Where you don't have to travel and things like that.
Yeah, and I think to some people it was. I think Jason Tatum even came out. I saw an interview where he was like, I saw people in the bubble, and I was like, wait a minute. You don't normally shoot like that. He was like, I knew it was going to be wild. He was like, for a lot of guys, they had no pressure. Not that there's packed stadiums now, but it's not to take anything away from the Heat. They deserve where they were last year. I just don't see them doing it again this year with teams being reloaded. Ben Simmons was out in the bubble, so helps.
Y'all see Tennessee's coach got fired and or all that because they were handing kids money in McDonald's bags?
Yes.
Nice.
I didn't see that he got fired. I think he deserves an extension. It's clever.
Exactly. I agree. Come on, man. Pay these kids.
Yeah.
I'm like,
how do y'all feel? I mean, because we never brought it up. How do you feel about pay? Because you can't pay every college athlete, but not every collegiate team is bringing in the money that football is. So how do you feel about paying collegiate athletes?
I think they should figure out a system. I think if there's any way to prove that a college is making money off a particular player, like Ben Simmons spoke about when he drove in to Baton Rouge, it said number 12 is coming, where it didn't technically say his name, but it was obviously him. And he's like, and I can't make $1 off that. I don't know. I don't have a problem with it.
Yeah, I think they should try to figure out something. I just don't know how they can pull it off. But I think they should try to figure out something.
I look at it like this: like if you have an academic scholarship, you can get whatever job you want, and you get paid whatever you want. Why can't an athlete do the same thing? Why is it so different that it's a athletic scholarship versus academic scholarship?
Mm.
Like I would say, like not don't let the schools pay them. But I mean, if some booster wants to pay them, then it is what it is,
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
But then you look at Nick Saban made $9.3 million last year. Like, come on, like
And those kids get nothing.
they get nothing.
Yeah, right.
If he's making $9 million a year, that's where
Off of those kids, they get nothing.
Yeah, and it's like 2021. It's not good enough to say they got a free degree. Like we all know that shit's overpriced anyway. Like I got to get more than that.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, and it don't guarantee a job either. So,
yeah, it does it.
yeah,
I like with Popes. I've never heard that. Like no, the school shouldn't. But if a booster wants to give these kids money, like let them go.
or if anybody does. Like, if they, like, how you gonna tell me I can't make money off my name? Like what?
Yeah. Like when Odell Beckham was giving those kids money in the locker room after the game, all the seniors, like they couldn't do shit to them because they were graduating, handing them stacks of cash.
That was beautiful. That was beautiful.
Love it.
Yeah.
Marcus, you want to get the shoe talk popping?
Oh yeah, man. Let's get it. Oh, speaking of, that's funny you said that. I got a message from Goat about those Travis Scotts I got a bid on.
How much did you bid?
I gotta look.
Which Travis Scott?
The 33s.
Oh yeah, I forgot about those.
So I can add to my space boot collection. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So speaking of that, go ahead.
Did you send us a picture of the 3 shoes? Was it 3, 4?
The upcoming releases this year?
Did you send us? Yeah. Did you send us that?
He didn't send us a pic this week.
Okay, I didn't know.
I sent it to Pope, but not to y'all. My bad.
Hey, send it. Yeah, send it in there real quick.
I got you. I got you right now. But before, as I'm doing that, man, Pope, talk to us about these Reebok Soldiers, man.
Yeah, so everybody else knows them as the Reebok workout, but in New Orleans, it kind of became the New Orleans shoe. I'm guessing just because you could pick them up for fairly cheap back in the late '90s, early 2000s, and Reebok credits the Hot Boys for making them popular. I mean, to me, the timing doesn't sound right because I remember it maybe a year or two before, but in those songs, everything comes from the streets, but I mean, basically, they were soldiers. It was part of your uniform, your everyday uniform, whether you were going to school or whether you were working the streets. And it was either those or G Knights, the Air Force Ones. That's what they were called, G Knights. And if you were hipster, you had the old shell tops, like Adidas Run DMC shoes. But that was it. Those were the 3 shoes that ran the city, and soldiers were by far the king. I was at Marshall's the other day. I saw a pair of the white ones with the gum heels for $30. I said, I need to pick this up.
Low tops or the low tops?
The low tops, yeah.
Corey, do you remember the Reebok Soldiers? I Googled it when I remembered. I remember me and you used to have all kinds of Reebok Soldiers.
Yeah. I just Googled it too. Yeah, I do.
Yeah. I remember I put an outfit out together. It was a Michael Vick jersey, it was some jogging pants, and it was some high top white Reebok Soldiers. I remember it like yesterday.
I will
the high tops too.
I'll say this, Pope. The reason I know about Soldier was because I told you I was obsessed with Cash Money. So I don't know who made him famous like within the city, but probably for everybody, all of us outside the city, I at least found out about it with Lil Wayne and all them rocking it. So did you grab that pair the other day?
Oh, well, yeah, definitely did. It's like Swan didn't understand like why I was like tripping out. I'm like, these go for like $60-$70. I was like, plus, like they go with everything, man. Like, and I mean, especially as a Saints fan, that gum, that's close enough to the Saints gold or brown, whatever you want to call it. It works.
I don't remember them being called soldiers though. Like that skips my memory.
Yeah, no, that's just a New Orleans thing. Okay. That's just a New Orleans thing. They were the Reebok workouts everywhere else,
Gotcha.
I get the picture?
Yeah, I got it.
Oh, let me.
Yeah, man.
Oh, okay.
So talk to me. I think Heath, you already mentioned those Giannis. Those ones. You digging those?
They're loud. Like
I am.
the shoe is weird looking to me, but I like how loud they are. But it just look. I would have to like hoop in those. It looks like a strictly basketball shoe to me. You know what I mean? I don't know what I would wear with those. If that makes sense.
No, it does. And the reason I think that's like when I look at those Travis Scott's the ones I want to get, that's why those ones don't sell as well. With the newer Jordans, they're like strictly, like you're saying about these like performance looking shoes.
Yeah.
Like what else am I going to rock those with? So what about the Paul Georges? Like which one is the better performance looking shoe? Like maybe even just the hoop end.
Based on performance?
Or just in general, those two shoes, because they're like in a category of their own, like being like kind of hooping shoes.
I don't know. I like the Paul Georges too, but I'm a loud cut and like the letters. Like, is he trying to do the letters thing because he got a lot of letters in his name? Like, what is the letters for? Is that it?
Like the alphabet thing, probably.
Yeah, I don't get.
I don't know what it is either.
I don't get the significance of the alphabet, but I like it. I would go Giannis over the Paul George, but I'm a Paul George hater, you know.
Maybe that was his nickname for a while too. Call him Alphabet because he has so many letters.
There you go. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So what's up? We already talked about it. So Poe, we've already mentioned the Jordans on the bottom left. Chinese New Year's. Like Lathan was already complaining and a reporter like, how come we're not talking? No one's talking about these. He thinks they're like a underrated like gymnast dropping. How you feel about those?
I would like to see more from that inside design. It looks like it'd be kind of cool, but I mean
that's only on one shoe too, Pope. The other inside of the shoe doesn't look like that, I believe.
Oh, for real?
I think
it's just one shoe like that.
Yeah.
I got you. Yeah, that's cool.
The more I look at them, the more I want them.
Same.
Like I keep looking. For real, they keep growing on me.
Yeah.
I like the color. Yeah, those are dope. I might have to go for those.
Heath, did you get early access for those dunks, those Street Hawkers?
No. If I did, I would have missed. If I did, I missed it.
Oh, you know I didn't. I just saw some people today posting they had early access for them. And Lathan got early access for like that off-white book. I'm like, fuck, I want a book for.
Oh, to the Virgil?
Yeah.
How much is that thing? I didn't see a price on there.
79, I think.
70.
70? Yeah, no.
Oh, hell no. I ain't paying 70 for that.
I told him I would be so pissed if that was the first thing I ever got first access for. I'd been so upset.
I want to know. I want somebody to explain to me these rules. Like, why do we get access on certain things? Like, how do they pick that?
First of all, I ain't never got access on nothing. All right.
Me either. Don't know what that feels like, Heath.
Yeah, Nike, like they never poke. They keep this, all the hottest Nike releases. Like those Paul Georges, I think you could just get those like on Foot Locker, Nike. Like the hotter releases release on the sneakers app. And some people have a lot of luck. Lathan, Heath, they hit more times they lose. People like me and Corey, we just never win. So I can just never get certain shoes for retail. And Nike never really gives any information about the algorithm. Like it's like a mystery. How do you increase your chances? Like I bought some shoes recently just to try to increase my chances. Didn't work, but
and just to add to the randomness, Pope, like so I make my wife use the sneakers app too to like help me get shoes. She's won twice and she gets early access to stuff. I don't get the randomness.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I mean, is it like first come first serve, or is it just like a random? It's like a drawing, basically. Like,
well, first come first serve is like 7 million people at one time.
Yeah.
But technically, we assume it's like a first come first serve. But there's just other factors, man. Because there's people that have those bots. I don't know how they work, but they have bots where they'll get like so many. They'll wipe a whole size out. But other than that, I don't know how it works. I'd get Ellen to help me out. She's an ofer just like me. Some BS, man. So Pope, other than like the Reebok Soldiers, man, is there any other shoes that if you see it, you gotta have it because it brings back like some nostalgia?
Nostalgia, no, but I actually, you know what? If I ever came across a pair of the Dennis Rodman Worms, I would get with the zipper. I would get those in a heartbeat. I love that shoe, and it was the ugliest damn thing, but I loved it. He was one of my favorite players as a kid. Yeah,
which shoe did you say?
Dennis Rodman.
Dennis Rodman?
The zip up ones.
Yeah.
Huh. Right now.
Yeah, I don't know if they've ever retroed though. I feel like they did it one.
They're not on StockX unless I can find the right name, but I'll look.
Dang, that's a good one off the top too. That's pretty good.
So, were you a Dennis Rodman fan?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, like when I played basketball, that was like my style, like all defense and dirty as hell, like just to make up for my lack of skill. Like,
that's funny. That's funny.
You like the Last Dance episode all about him then?
Oh yeah. Oh, that whole series was one of the best documentaries. Period. Not just sports. Just it was amazing.
Yeah, it was pretty well done. So Heath, I was kind of thinking, man, like I just bought these Yeezys off my boys, and like that 380 model just didn't do well. What happened to like at one point Yeezy was making so much noise that you thought like, man, he might be outselling Jordan these days. It doesn't seem that's the case anymore. Did it run out of steam? Did they make too many pairs of the same model?
Oversaturation. It was oversaturation. Yeah. Like I see people in my gym now, and they're coming in with the Yeezys, and it's all these like 6 colors of tan or the black, and I'm like, those are like everybody has those. It's like when you wear the Zebras or the Volt ones, whatever they're called. What are those called? Like the
semi-frozen?
Yeah, the semi-frozen. Like those are the ones, the original Yeezys that were just untouchable. Like when I see those, I'm like, yeah, you're a real sneakerhead. But there's too many Yeezys right now.
And it kind of sucks because it's cool that you can get a shoe that you want. We just talked about how
Pope, what size are you? Pope, what size are you?
10.5.
Uh-oh. Ooh.
Are these the ones you're talking about?
No, I don't think so.
Well, sorry, go ahead.
Research on this.
Go ahead with the
Well, it just sucks that, and I hadn't even really put it that way, right? But it sucks, like, when it comes to Yeezys, like, I got a shot to get a shoe that I like at a resale, which is already $200 or $300. It sucks that it like lessens how much you like them because they're actually you actually have a shot to get them. You know what I mean?
No, yeah, it does.
It's a weird trade off.
That's when you were texting us about Nick wanting to sell you. I was like, yeah, they're cool. I mean,
yeah,
they're all right.
He was selling everything too, so I was like, that's a pair where like I guess I was just intrigued. I haven't seen that model in person either. COVID, I haven't been out the house much.
Yeah.
And so I haven't seen him in person, so I was like, for that price, yeah, I gotta get him. I just want to see what they look like. And this might be the year where I just get underrated shoes.
I'm with that.
Some for a good price. Some the Travis Scott still had to pay a little more than I want to for like an underrated shoe. But
you're thinking more. Are you going more quantity than quality type?
No, not necessarily. Not necessarily. Just I don't think quality is based off, what a 7-year-old. Yeah, I don't think so. If you like shoes, you like shoes. That's a great mind fuck right there. That you think is not quality because I don't have to pay quadruple the price.
Right.
It's almost like, wait, I can just pay resale? Like, what's wrong with it then?
Yeah, exactly.
That's what they've done to us.
Yeah. I know, and that could be a thing too. Like, my thinking could be backwards on the Yeezys. Like, yeah, I mean, it's tough. But when you're asking, are they approaching the Jordans? Like when Jordans release, they're like retroing old shoes that everybody still wants. They're not just hitting you with, other than the Air Jordan 1s, which has a shit ton of colors. They're not just hitting you with colors of every model.
Well, for the sneaker group thing, you're completely right because the resellers, they're the ones who are usually going to hype up these releases, and they have nothing to hype up if they don't think they're going to make any money off the shoe. Yeah. So if the shoe's oversaturated and they can't make money off resale, then they call them bricks. Like me, I can't move these. So it's just a weird thing. So I just always try to be hesitant. Like, if you like a shoe, get it. It is cool to have those pairs sometimes too, when you can actually get your hands on a coveted pair that's hard to get. there is some satisfaction to that.
And you made a good point last week. All it takes is one picture or one music video of a rapper wearing them, and then it just blows up.
It's over.
Like all those dunks and stuff. Like, man,
it'd be over, dude. Like, and some of them it's never gonna happen because I'd have to imagine that Travis Scott just doesn't like wearing those 33s because you've never seen him in them, right?
Right.
I'm assuming he doesn't like wearing. It's probably part of the deal. Like, come on, Travis, help us out. We can do this shoe for us. He's like, all right, I'm never gonna wear it on my own, motherfucker. But yeah, if he appears in any video in it, then we can't get it no more.
Right.
Yep.
So I got to get it first. I got to beat the crowd.
Did you do any more research on that rescue site?
No, I meant to today. Dang it! No, after you saw that,
all the review, like, because I dug deep in Reddit and stuff like that, and Reddit and all those people say like it's actual site with Nike.
It says it on their website, Nike authenticated or something.
Like Nike's like partnering with them or whatever. But I feel like any site can put that. Maybe like I don't know about legally, that might be liable or whatever. But like I went to Reddit, and they were like, "This is legit."
But the thing, like getting those Vote color Jordans, like that would just be a weird pair to make fakes for. You know what I mean? Like I got those for $60 at the outlet. You know, like why would you? So like that seems like it could be legit because unless it's
nothing crazy
I haven't seen Jordans and shit on there though.
So you sell those ones that because those are ones I got at outlet. That makes sense.
Yeah,
I gotta look into it.
Yeah, I haven't seen. I mean, I saw the ones I got are Jordans, but you know what I mean, like the big release,
like retros or
I haven't seen anything like that on there.
Yeah.
So that's the thing with me, Pope. I go back and forth. Like I have a buddy out here. Met him as a sneakerhead in high school. I actually met him through a website called Nike Talk. I guess it's like before MySpace. We linked up on there, and he lives out here now. So all these years later, we kick it. And he's like, I wanted Travis Scott. I bought the fake ones. Like, what? I'm not paying that. And I'm like, I don't know if I'm there yet.
Yeah.
It's a weird thing to think. Like, it's a shoe that's made probably just at a different factory in China. Set that off, but
right.
I'm pretty particular. So I was giving he's like, we need to research this because it could be clutch. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, it's going to be clutch for like when I want to stun on people in like boot camp gym workouts and stuff. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. Like I don't need to pay you $180 for a pair of workout shoes that I'm going to trash.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the last thing I got about shoes for y'all, man, is what is your most of all the shoes you see releasing in 2021 so far? Which ones you got your eye on? Like, if I don't get nothing else, I need to get this shoe.
I got mine on these off-white Air Jordan Canary Yellow.
Yep, those are nice.
Yeah.
Man. They got the black sole, right? And they're so black.
No, the sole is white.
No, I don't think so.
So here, this is going to put it into perspective. I would not buy a single pair this year if I can land the cool grays.
Oh wow!
I want the cool grays, bad.
I just send those shoes to y'all. Will not Pope.
Pope just sent me. Oh, crap, hold on. Let me go where y'all can see it.
Oh, so I was thinking about the low top. Ooh, let me look at those. What's the name of those, Pope? You got the name of them?
I think they're called the Air Worms.
I see what you mean, though. That's a shoe built for Rodman. Like he was breaking stuff in those shoes. They look like they're built for outside. Rough. Well, we'll try to find them, man. You can even if you got to get you like a pair that's used but still serviceable. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, dude. Like that would definitely be a pair that like I'd break out like special occasions.
No,
But,
Corey, those are fire. Corey, those off. I would take any off whites, but yeah, those are fire.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get those off-white 5s, but my shoe like that's releasing this year, I need to get those UNC 4s, the Jordan 4s.
Yeah.
I got to get them. But for you, Pope, a pair that actually I have to buy according to the Honor the Flip. I don't know if I told you about them. There's a pair of Nike Dunks that they had a special pair made through a skate shop in New Orleans called Humidity.
Oh yeah, I know Humidity.
So they released. It's been like I think in 2016 or 17, but the shoe is all gold. I'll send it to you. So it's all gold, go with the brass instruments. The inside is like purple velvet looking, like the inside of an instrument case.
Yeah.
And then it has a red bow tie on front for Louis Armstrong. It's a dope pair.
That sounds sick. I've never seen that.
Yeah.
Like, I've seen like, the Cafe du Monde, the Sony's, and I've seen like Zion's Bayou Boy shoes, but
yeah,
never seen those yet.
So that's a pair.
You have to get those, Marcus. You have, like, you know what I mean? That's,
I mean, technically I do because I flip for them. So like either that I have to invest in. I'd rather just buy this pair, but
not even that. But like that's your like you got like deep roots with that. You know what I mean?
Well, I'm trying to get this guy to take my bid. I'm trying to get him to. I'm trying to get him to come down on his price. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna get him. Need to get him. Well, man, y'all got anything else? That's all I got written on the agenda. Oh, I got one more thing. Because I got Pope. When I got Heath here, you know, y'all saw this is the first ever referee to say that's going to officiate the Super Bowl, female.
Yeah.
So I thought this is a cool aspect. Pope, know Heath, brand new father to a young lady. Same with Pope. Couple, how's your youngin now?
Mine, 2 months.
2 months.
Wow.
Yeah.
And Heath was born. Was it actually on Christmas or Christmas Eve?
Christmas Day. Yep.
Oh wow.
So.
Yeah.
So both of you guys have these newborn daughters. Isn't it? It's a pretty cool aspect, right? That you see that your daughter can be like involved in sports without actually playing a sport.
Yeah.
They could be, you got her, you could be a big time referee. You could got Becky Hammond holding it down for like a coach. Don't even get me started on like analysts now. I think that's just a cool aspect where like, if they got no coordination, which homegirl downstairs don't seem to have, spending quality time watching sports still means something because they can still be involved. I think that's pretty cool having a daughter.
No, I agree. I'll let Pope go in a minute, but Emily kind of like looked at me funny when I said this, because she was like, "You don't want like a son like play sports and stuff." I was like, "No, it's like I have a daughter. I feel like there's less given. Women have way more pressures." But having a daughter, she doesn't have like that pressure on her, like, oh, I need to be good in sports for my dad. And I don't like, as a dad, I'm like, oh, you need to be good in sports. Like, she's a girl, you know what I mean? Like, she can be, but she can do whatever she wants, if that makes sense. I feel like if I had a son, I might put more pressure on my son. I feel like there's less pressure on me now for her.
Absolutely.
You feel that?
Good point.
Absolutely. I mean, like, like as soon as like we found out it was a girl, all the thoughts go through your mind and all that kind of stuff, and that was it exactly. It's like, she can be whatever she wants. I'll support her 100%. But I completely agree. I think if I had a son, there would be that bias, be like, oh no, you gotta play sports, or you gotta be in MMA, like you gotta do this, you gotta do that. Like
you have one of both, Marcus. Do you feel like you're gonna maybe add a little more pressure on Mars to be in sports, or you think you'll be able to like do it both? Like, how do you feel like you're gonna approach that?
I don't know. For one, there's a reality check. I wasn't that good at any sport, so it's not like I'm pressuring him to go be something I wasn't. You know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, for him, he already has it, man. He has so much coordination. Like it comes so natural to him doing stuff. But I already tell him all the time. He talk about football. I'm like, what's that? Like, I wouldn't be mad if he never even touched the football. You know what I mean? So I try to tell both of them, like, I just want you in something. Like, obviously me, I got 3 TVs up here to watch sports. Yes, I would like for them to at least try to play a sport growing up. You know what I mean? But if they don't, you're asking them to do something. You better be on the math team, chess club. You're gonna try and put some work into something. That's just the rule I give them.
And Pope, and it might be different for us, like once our girls get in sports, because you seem competitive like me. If I see like some girl is a little bit better than my girl, and something like, no, you got to do this better than her.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I definitely envision that talk of like a certain age where it's like, okay, are you serious about this? If you're serious, we're going to go all the way. If you're not serious, like, okay, cool. It is what it is. We'll find something else that you're serious about. Like, but yeah, no, I mean, I even if I don't verbalize it in my mind, I'm be like hoping that she like is the best on the court, the field, whatever it is.